Welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 160. Today's date is December 19th, 2020. Thank you for joining me today. Got a big blog this week. Got a big two blogs. We got two blogs today. This is my standard weekly blog where I cover everything that happened in the world of sports during the week. But we're not going to talk NBA today because the NBA season starts Tuesday. I'm going to do a special vlog on that. It'll be probably right after this one. So busy day for me today. But we're going to talk some college football. This is the final week of the season. Conference championship games are today. We'll go over all that. What would it mean in Alabama, Florida, and the SEC championship, and the ACC championship is huge with Notre Dame and Clemson. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll look ahead to week 14 in the NFL, give you my picks for the week. Go over the Chargers win over the Raiders on Thursday night. That pretty much hurt the Raiders' playoff chances. And look at the playoff picture as well as the NFL. So we got mainly a football. We'll mainly talk about football in this one. A little side notes from the MLB as well. But first we're going to start with NCAA football championship, conference championship week. A lot of huge games today. Even starting at noon. We got two big championship games. Ohio State, Northwestern in the Big Ten. And in the Big 12 is Oklahoma State, Iowa State. Iowa State has climbed all the way up to 6. So if they win and maybe have some crazy things happen, maybe they can sneak into that top 4 in the playoff. We'll see. Clemson, Notre Dame may total 4, and Alabama, Florida in the SEC. That's a night game at 8 o'clock. Tulsa, Cincinnati, a little bit of a big game. That's the AAC championship game. Oregon won last night in the Pac-12 championship. USC was only 13th anyway, so even if they'd have won this game, I don't think they would have got too much consideration for the playoff. But anyway, they still came up short in that game, losing their first game of the year. There was other games today, mostly all the games that wasn't championship games was canceled. Georgia, Vanderbilt, I see here, Miami, Georgia Tech was canceled. Oh, it is one championship game that was canceled, the Sun Belt Championship with Coastal Carolina, who I think is undefeated, was going to go against Louisiana. That game been canceled. And all these, of course, due to COVID. Texas A&M, Tennessee, big game for Texas A&M. Like I said, they 5th, so I think a lot of stuff will have to happen for them to move up, or Iowa State to move up. They probably have to win convincingly as well. But the biggest game is Notre Dame, Clemson. Clemson is number 3, Notre Dame is number 2. You know, they played earlier in the year. Clemson's only loss was to Notre Dame. They didn't have Trevor Lawrence, though, the quarterback for Clemson. So it's going to be interesting what the committee do. Like, say if we're going to go both to there. Let's say if Clemson wins, is you going to drop Notre Dame all the way out the top 4? Or, you know, I think Alabama is almost a surety if they lose to Florida. So it's like, to me, the two locks are Notre Dame and Alabama. I think if they lose, I think they still should be in that top 4. If Clemson should lose again, I honestly think Clemson should be out. I think Clemson should fall all the way out the top 4. Because you lost to Notre Dame twice, and they would have beat you with Lawrence at quarterback. So I think if Clemson loses, I think it's an easy decision. But I think if Clemson wins, I think that's when things get more interesting. When you drop Notre Dame all the way out the top 4, keep them in. Like I said, say if Notre Dame and Alabama loses, that's what I think things will get interesting. In the playoff. But if both those teams win, I think things will be more clear. I think Clemson will have to be out. Ohio State, I think they have to win today. If they lose, they out. So I think Clemson, just like how it should be, Clemson and Ohio State probably have to win their games to stay in. And if they lose, they probably be out. I think Texas A&M might have a chance to move up. And Iowa State with a championship. If they win, they'll win a championship. So they should be considered. A lot of people have been talking about Cincinnati. That's why I brought up that Cincinnati game. That's why this whole thing, to me, like, honestly, this is why I know it's probably never happened, or it's probably gonna happen in my lifetime. Have a playoff, almost like the NCAA tournament. Say 3 weeks. So 3 weeks would be what, 32 or 16, 8, 4. So I guess 8 would be 3 weeks. So I guess it's spelled to 8, or it's bound to have every conference championship. Like, if you win a conference championship, you're automatically in, just like in the NCAA. And then everybody else will just be ranked in. I don't know if that can be done. But then it'll still be a fuss about the other smaller conferences, like the Sun Belt, and Cincinnati's in the AAC. So all those conferences will probably start to trip up as well. But I say, like I said, if you can get it to 30, I think 32 would definitely be enough. But I mean, that might seem kind of large, or 16, maybe 16. That would work, Get it to 16, that means at least one team out of every conference could probably get in, and then fit in where you get in the rest of the way. But I think 32 will be it would be great, but I think it'd be hard to do, because like I said, it would take a week. You only can play one game a week. So I think 32 is for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It'd be 5 weeks of football. So but I say I think it can be done, though. I really do. I think use the bowl games as sites where teams can play their games. And then once they get to the championship, do the championship game like you do. But then, the Sugar Bowl, the New Year's Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, all those, use those sites for like the semifinals. Once you get there. But I guess you would probably have to start the season a little sooner, maybe a week or so sooner. But I think that's the only way people will feel like you really get the real champ. Because this year is crazy because of COVID, but I think Alabama's clearly the best team in football, in my opinion. I've probably seen about 1 or 2 games, though. I don't watch a lot of college football, I can admit that. I watch it here and there. They clearly look like a great team. Florida has at times, but the losses is what hurt them this year. Just losing last week. I was hoping they won last week against LSU. LSU was able to win. And the SEC is the best conference. I don't think too many people argue about that. But I think the Big 12 got good teams in it. I think the Big 10 with all the good teams, led by Ohio State, is clearly the best team in that conference. But like I said, we got Iowa State this year, Indiana. It's a surprise. Northwestern. All these teams, I think they deserve to have a shot. Playing on the field. I think people basically. People or a computer used to be with the BCS decides who the top 4 teams is. I think if you somehow could expound it to at least 8. I mean, try 8. Maybe slowly do it. Try 8, and then if you had that for a few years, then go to 16. But I think 32 would be a great barometer to say, all right, we definitely were able to get a champion here. And just make sure, like say Alabama is number 1, whoever 32 is, that's who they would play. Break it down, definitely break it down like that. Don't have it like the NCAA tournament with the brackets, with 1 versus 16, even though they usually say the number 1 overall seed. So it's like you playing the 68th best team or whatever. I think it's 68 teams in the tournament now. I think they got at least. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight for sure, but because they barely got to this format. But you got to expound. I think 4 teams is not enough, and I think this year will prove it, especially if somehow Alabama and Notre Dame loses today, it's going to be it's not. It's just going to be I mean, people like the part of the debating and stuff, but it's going to. You can't. I think they can't fall all the way out. I mean, I just don't think they can. People argue with Notre Dame loses. Well, they played a Clemson team that wasn't fully wasn't fully healthy or whatever. No Trevor Lawrence, so maybe they're a fraud, but it'll still be their only loss of the season. But I think if Notre Dame wins, I think Clemson should be eliminated. Or pretty much automatically. I think they should fall out the top 4. That's just my opinion. Ohio State looked good, so Ohio State should move up if they win. So there's all these different scenarios, but it's going to be interesting to watch college football today. Well, I'm a Florida Gator fan. I used to root for Florida when I was a kid. Danny Wolford and the old ball coach. Steve Spurrier. I used to root for them in that era back in the 90s. So I'm hoping they upset Alabama. I just don't see it happening. Alabama 17-point favorites. I don't see Florida, if that's the way they looked last week. I don't see Florida beating Alabama. Alabama can just stack. They always stack. So I'd be shocked if Florida wins. But I think Notre Dame can probably beat Clemson. I think Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's worth the hype. People hyping him up, but I think he got flaws, just like anybody else. He hasn't looked sharp in the games he has played. Not lights out sharp. So I think Notre Dame will have a chance in this game, and probably wouldn't be surprised if they beat him again. And if they do, I think Clemson should fall out the top 4. That's just my opinion. But all that would be determined today. The Clemson game is at 4 with Notre Dame. The Alabama game 8 o'clock tonight. So, and then the final playoff rankings will be tomorrow. So we'll know who the top 4 teams is. But I think if Alabama wins and Notre Dame wins, I think it'll be easy for the committee to make some of their decisions. But if they both lose, or if both lose, it'll definitely be chaos. But if Notre Dame loses, I think we will have to see what the committee really values, because it's going to be some tough decisions to be made. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Some real football. No offense to college, but I'm an NFL fan all day long. Got off to a decent start on the week 14. Or is this week 15? I'm sorry, this is week 15. I wrote down week 14 here, but it's week 15. It's week 15 this week. We got 2 games actually today as well. But let's cover the Thursday night game real quick. The LA Chargers was able to defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 30-27. Another big game for Justin Herbert, the rookie sensation. Chargers get the win. Raiders fall to 7-7. So that's tough for them. Now they're gonna need help to make the playoffs. As they fall pretty much all the way out of it. Other teams still try to hold on to the AFC, the Patriots as well. But it's that log jam with the Dolphins, the Ravens. Then that other tier with the Titans, Colts, and Browns. So it's going to be interesting to see how days worked out. But the Raiders had to look good. They do got a lot of injuries on defense that have shown the defense has played below average. Derek Carr got hurt, but Marcus Mariota looked pretty good when he came in there. But still, now that he played, it's going to be fillable, so it's going to be a harder game next week if he has to play. I don't know who Oakland plays next week, but they get the Dolphins, so that's to definitely be elimination game next Saturday. So the Raiders and the Dolphins play next Saturday, so that'll be a huge game. Especially if Miami loses, but I think it's possible the Raiders could be eliminated this week if I think most of these other teams win. They probably could be eliminated. So Hurtful loss for the Raiders. John Gruden probably had to be responsible a little bit. But the defense had played bad. They fired their defensive coordinator because of what happened last week, and so we'll see with the Raiders. I think the chances have slimmed down. I think the Patriots also going to need too much help as well. And I honestly don't think they're going to win this game against the Dolphins, and I know that would eliminate them. So going to be tough. Like I said, it's going to be tough for the Raiders. But the Chargers got a lot to look forward to. Can they build on this year? Like I said, Anthony Lynn might be let go, but like I said, if he is helping Herbert, I think he should stay. I think one thing a quarterback needs is stability. You'll need all these different coordinators and coaches. If you could get one coach in there to steady the ship, and I think that would help him. But a lot of people doubted this kid coming out of Oregon, but he's played pretty sharply. He's definitely been the best quarterback in this draft this year. Joe Burrow was off to a good start as well, but he got hurt. And Tua just started to play. Tua still coming along. So Herbert has definitely clearly been the best quarterback in this draft class so far. Let's move on to the games for the rest of the week. Like I said, we got 2 games today, and then the rest of the slate tomorrow. And then the Monday night game is Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals, which is a game the Steelers need to win. If they hopefully Kansas City with a tough game against New Orleans will lose, and they can get back into that one spot in the AFC. Of course, I got my big 5 games written here on my notes. So those are the games I talk more extensively of. The other games I'm going to try to just pick a winner and move on. I do this every week. And we don't got that much time left in the NFL. There's 3 games left for everybody. Well, 2 now for the Chargers and Raiders. So I pull up my scoreboard here, and we're going to go down the line here. Of course, today's Saturday, December 19th. 2 games. 1 game at 4:30. The Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos. This is a big game for the Bills. I think if they win today, they clinch the AFC East. It'll be their first AFC East title since 1995. So that's going back to Jim Kelly. Long time ago. Bills heydays, just coming off 4 straight Super Bowl appearances. Good time for the Bills right now. Josh Allen, gotta give him a lot of credit. He's playing very, very well. Stephon Diggs has been a huge pickup for Buffalo. So the Bills are rolling. A lot of people think they could challenge the Chiefs. I'm not gonna go that far yet, but they play some good football. I think they prove it here, and they go to Denver and win. But it's always hard to win there. I'm guessing the weather is not going to be that great today. But Drew Lock has played pretty well for the Broncos. It's been a bright spot this year when he's played. Defense still decent, so I think they give the Bills a game. I think the Bills will prevail and win this game and clinch the division today. Bills 5.5 favorite in that game. And we got a night game. Carolina Panthers at the Green Bay Packers. Packers trying to wrap up I think they already wrapped up the North. I believe they have. Yes, they have, because the second place team is the Vikings and the Bears, and they both 4 games out. I think they already clinched. But they still, right now they is the 1 seed in the NFC. So they own the top against New Orleans. So this game still is meaningful for them to keep that 1 spot in the NFC. Panthers, season over as far as playoffs, but the question with them is if they will still play Christian McCaffrey. I think they should just shut him down for the rest of the season, personally. Just gave him the big contract. But with all that being said, I think Green Bay wins the game. I think it'll be a close game. I think Teddy Bridgewater knows the Packers a little bit from being in the division with the Minnesota Vikings. But I think Green Bay will pull away and win at the end. Jaguars, Ravens. Ravens, I think they win this game. Jaguars come back 1-12, lose to 12 in a row. Lamar, you know, the Ravens, they've been looking pretty sharp. You do the big game against the Browns, put up 47 points. I still think you got to improve on throwing the ball, but I think the Ravens are starting to get back into that flow. But they do have a lot of injuries in the secondary this week. Gardner Minshew will be started for the Jags. Was been joking about Inakwe getting at him, former Jaguar who had some issues, wound up getting traded to Minnesota, then traded here to Baltimore. I think the Ravens will take care of business and stay in the playoff picture. They win tomorrow. Buccaneers at Falcons. I think the Bucs will go in there and win. Falcons up and down. I think this could be a close game. If Matt Ryan and Julio and everybody plays a good offensive game, I think it could be close. I think Tampa though try to stay ahead of the curve in the playoffs. I think they take care of business and win the game in Atlanta. 49ers Cowboys. I'm going with the Niners here. The Cowboys to me just I think they're just done. I think 49ers still playing hard. Andy Dalton, I don't know what he's you know, I just don't know about the Cowboys. Definitely a toss-up game. Dallas is capable with the talent they have on the offensive side, but I think on the defensive side, I think the Niners going to run the ball down their throat. And Mullins, I like him. I think he plays well. The backup for the Niners. I think the Niners get it done and beat the Cowboys. Lions, Titans. I got the Titans here. Lions, they show, you know, Matthew Stafford, he shows that he don't quit. I like Matthew Stafford, but I think the Titans, I think Derrick Henry probably have another monster game. I think the Lions are too one-dimensional. I think they don't run the ball well. I mean, they try to mix in Adrian Peterson, who's having a decent year, actually. But I think the Titans will control the game and win, and keep the put pressure on the Colts to win against the Texans with the game that's next. As they fighting for that AFC North division. Colts hosting the Texans. Colts, you know, I mean, the 4 losses, you know, you're like, oh, but overall, you know, the Colts got a decent team. You look at offensively and defensively, I think they both top 10. Colts are a decent, solid team. Houston, too much pressure on Deshaun Watson still. Got to do too much, and I think that's why the Colts will win this game. And it's going to be down prior to the final week for Titans Colts for the division. I think the Titans own the tiebreaker though, as of right now. Alright, finally got to one of my big fives. The New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins 3-point favorites here, 8-5 against 6-7 Patriots. Like I said, I think the Patriots are just too far behind to make a playoff spot. I think the offense is just not good enough. Cam haven't played well overall. Like I said, ever since he went down with COVID, he's just haven't looked the same, especially throwing the football. But maybe New England will try to control the clock and run the ball against the Dolphins. The Dolphins got a good defense. But this game could be close because of, no offense, because of Tua. I think Tua type of lower. It is a rookie. I think Bill Belichick can throw some stuff at him. And that will keep this game close, but I think Miami will pull out in the end and improve their playoff chances. And of course, this will eliminate the Patriots from the playoffs. And I think that will happen. I think the Dolphins will win today. Well, tomorrow. I keep saying today because it's games today. Bears, Vikings. That's on my big five because this is pretty much an elimination game in the NFC wild card. Vikings is a 3-point favorite at home. I'm going to go with Minnesota here. I just think they're a little bit of a better team. I think the inconsistencies, well, I shouldn't even say that because Kirk Cousins is inconsistent as well. But I think he got something to lean on, which is Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook is the difference in this game. I think it will show. I think Trubisky will make more mistakes than Kirk Cousins, and that will propel the Minnesota Vikings to win this game. The winner will go to even 7-7 and still have a chance at the playoffs. I think the loser will be pretty much eliminated. And Bears hung around. You know, they started off with 5-1, I think it was. And now it's falling way off the map. And it might continue here. I think the Vikings will win and improve their playoff chances here. Seattle Seahawks at the Washington football team. This is on my Big Five as well. This is actually two division leaders. Well, Seattle technically not leading their division because the tiebreaker, the Rams own it, but they got the same record. Washington a game above the Giants. I think Seattle win this game though. I think Russell Wilson, like I said, he's been pretty average the last few weeks. But I think the Washington aggressiveness might, in this game in particular, might be used against them. I think Russ will be able to run around and make some plays to neutralize that Redskins pass rush. So I'm going to go with Seattle here. 6-point favorites for I think that could be high. 6.5 now it is. Washington, the only thing that makes me, skeptical about them overall is the offense. Alex Smith was hurt last week. The way Haskins was starting. So how much points can they score? How the defense will hold up against the Seahawks? Will they be able to contain them enough to keep them in the game? They did score offensive touchdown last week against Pittsburgh. And, they took a fumble return back and an interception return. So they're gonna have to get some points from the offense. Can the way Haskins turn it around and play decently? We'll see. But I think it won't be enough. I think Seattle wins the game and make things a little bit more interesting in the AFC West. The NFC East, excuse me. Jets, Rams. Rams here, not much to talk about. Jets, I think, like I said, I think I'd be shocked if they win the game. Just terrible all around. I think Adam Gase is gone. He's been coming out saying some, I don't want to say crazy stuff. It's true. It's, he's been taking accountability and all that. But I think he knows he's about to get fired or he want to be fired, one or the other. But I think he's not going to. Tuesday, right after the game on the last week of the season, he'll be gone. So I got the Rams winning. Probably big here. Eagles, Cardinals. This is a huge game. Eagles 4-8-1. Cardinals 7-6. Cardinals try to stay in front in the wild card. Eagles trying to stay alive with the Washington football team, like I said, which would be possible. Carson Wentz. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Carson, but I think Kyler Murray will have a big game here. Now Jalen Hurts, he looked it pretty sharp last week. We'll see if he continue his trend. But I think the Cardinals will pull it out and get it done, and improve their playoff chances. I think this loss will hurt the Eagles, and I think that's pretty much it with that. Cardinals 6.5 favorite. But I think it's the Philly fans about to get loud here because I think they're gonna lose this game. I got the Cardinals winning to improve their playoff chances. Saints and Chiefs. This is the biggest game of the weekend for sure. Chiefs at 12-1. Saints at 13-3. Drew Brees is back. Let's see how much difference that will make for the Saints. Still trying to get this 1 seed. Chiefs, we already know how the Chiefs are. Get off the slow starts and then turn it on. Can they afford that against New Orleans with a C? But I just got a feeling they're not going to have a slow start. I think Pat Mahomes going to come out and make a statement for MVP here. And I think the Chiefs win. and that would pretty much knock the Saints out of that final playoffs. I mean, the seeding spot on top of the NFC with the Packers. So I've got the Chiefs winning. Should be a real interesting game though, with Drew Brees going against Patrick Mahomes. Final game of Sunday: Browns at Giants. Browns at 9-4, Giants at 5-8. I'm gonna go with the Browns here. I think they be able to run the ball, control the clock. Even though the Giants defense have played pretty well over the last few weeks, but I just don't think they're gonna be able to score. Colt McCoy, I think, is back starting. Daniel Jones still hurt. So I think the Browns will get it done and beat the Giants on Sunday night. And then, like I said, the Monday night game is Steelers-Bengals. I got the Steelers here. I think the Bengals with no Joe Burrow, no Joe Mixon. Pretty much putting a half a squad on the field. I think the Steelers will take advantage of that. I think they'll look a little sharper this game to improve how they haven't been looking. And the Steelers win the game. So that's all your Week 15 picks. Let's look at the playoff picture real quick before we wrap things up here. We're going to start in the AFC. Of course, at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs already clinched their division at 12-1. Pittsburgh 11-2 at second. Bills in the third spot at 10-3. Titans right now the tiebreaker is the Colts. They both 9-4. Colts at 6. Cleveland at 5. They all 9-4. 7th is Miami with that final spot, but they own the tiebreaker against Baltimore at 8-5 as well, with a better conference record. Here's the reason why. Like I said, Vegas lost, so they're going to need both Baltimore and Miami to lose to help them out. New England needs that and winning as well. So Denver's still not officially eliminated, but they pretty much is. And let's move on to the NFC. Green Bay 10-3, New Orleans 10-3, both clinch spots. New Orleans want to put a hopefully they can beat Kansas City. So we'll see with that, but Green Bay definitely in the driver's seat for the 1 seed. LA Rams at 3rd at 9-4, Washington football team at 4th at 6 and 7, Seattle at 9-4 at 5th. I think they pretty much a lock. Tampa at 8-5 and Arizona at 7-6. Like I said, Minnesota, Chicago at 6-7. I think the loser of that game will be eliminated. Detroit, San Francisco. Pretty much the whole conference still alive except for Atlanta and Carolina. But Dallas, the Giants and Philadelphia still can win their divisions. That's the only reason why, you still got hope with that. But the wild card ain't happening for those teams. And that will do it for the playoff picture. And we'll look at it again. No game Thursday, so I probably just come and just get us ready for week number 16. We got a game Christmas Day, which is Friday, so I come on that Thursday and just set that up for the weekend, and hopefully things will get better weather-wise and everything else. So coming up on the channel today, like I said, I'm gonna probably take a little bit of a rest because I feel like I need to lay down for a bit. Then I'm gonna come back and do an NBA playoff preview. NBA season preview. So we got 2 blogs today. This will be the first of 2 blogs. I'm gonna edit this one, then probably take a little break. Then I'm gonna come back and record that blog as we look at the NBA season. Season starts Tuesday. I'll give you all my predictions from top to bottom, who will make the playoffs, who will be MVP, and everything else in the NBA. So make sure you join me in a few. So I do that one. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. And hopefully y'all enjoying everything on the channel. Cyberpunk is coming. More videos of that coming. More Spider-Man videos coming. Cyberpunk, you know the issues. Well, you probably heard about them with the glitching and everything else. They sent the update. I downloaded the update so I see if it improved. But that ain't why I haven't been. I just haven't. Well, I've done some videos anyway, so I do more, and Spider-Man as well. So that'll do it for episode 160. 161 is coming right around the corner. NBA playoff preview. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video, maybe take a little break, then get back and record that video for you guys as we talk NBA. That's why I didn't talk no basketball in this vlog today. We're gonna talk a lot of basketball in about an hour or so. So I'm Troy West saying thank you so much for watching, and continue being a sports fan, and I'll see you guys later.